Okay, so in this video, we're going to look at some Warhammer that's sold on eBay and what's selling on eBay. And yeah, we're going to look at what's the most expensive items that have been sold on eBay recently. Some of the most expensive armies, we'll take a look at them. Just a bit of fun. I was browsing the other day just out of curiosity and I thought I could make a silly little video. So I've searched for Warhammer and we're going to sort by highest price. So these are all the things that are the highest in price. They haven't sold, they're on there now. And the first thing we can see is one bit here for 96,000. That's got to be an error, surely. This is a body of Epidemus. I'll probably all clickbait you into the £96,000 bit. Obviously, it's not worth that. They got 111,111 euros. Maybe they want to sell it for just 111 euros, maybe. Even that's quite high, isn't it? What's Epidemus? We'll have a look at Epidemus, see how much he goes for. This is obviously a big error, but it's funny. But who knows? Yeah, I mean, you could buy the whole thing for 129. That's not bad. Keep an eye on that. I'm going to see how much that will go for. I really like Epidemus. That's 50 quid there in Finecast. Yeah, obviously an error there. Looks like the same guy here's got another piece from it, and it's only 20. So, yeah. Might message him maybe. He hasn't noticed the error. He's got all the other pieces here. Look, this is all him. So he's obviously just made a mistake there. Probably, yeah, maybe just like 20 euros or 30 euros or something. Maybe, I don't know. Still quite a lot, actually, considering you can buy the whole thing there for £50. But yeah, anyway, this video is all about expensive stuff. So let's get back on it. The Dark Hunters Umbra Sumus hardcover, extremely rare Holy Grail Warhammer book. I'm not really too into a lot of back library stuff, so but they're Australian dollars. Maybe 100,000 Australian dollars. Yeah, I don't know. I assume it's very rare. I apologise if you can hear the wind in the background. There's just a massive storm happening today. Which is why I'm here, just browsing on eBay. Now, of course, the one expensive miniature, probably the most expensive miniature in Warhammer history, is the metal Thunderhawk. Not many of them were made, I don't think. Came in this nice wooden box. All these metal pieces all laid out lovely here. Certificates. £15,000 opening bid. I know Squidmark got one and painted one up, and these sell it for almost 30,000. Something like that, wasn't it? Really high. It's probably worth 15 grand, to be fair. Would I ever buy one? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What's we got? Warhammer original artwork, really cool. Let's look at some of the armies. We'll start with Gene Stealer Cult. 12,000. I don't know. I don't think you'll ever get 12,000 for that. Can we get some close-ups? They are painted quite nicely. I like the bases. I don't know. Doesn't seem like there's a lot there for 12,000. Got a nice limo there. I don't know if that's just a proxy. I assume so. I mean, it's quite a bit, but yeah, it's a lot. That is a lot. Look, Chaos Knights. This army looks so sick. 9 grand. These are beautiful. Look at that. That's amazing. Yeah, love that. Love that. If I ever do Knights, I'll probably do something like that. If I ever do Chaos Knights, I should say. I already have regular Knights. I'll have to show my Knights off, actually, on a showcase video. I'm going to do some more showcase videos. That shield is so cool, isn't it? Oh, I love that. 9 grand. I mean, I would never pay a lot of money. Well, I probably wouldn't even buy an army, to be fair, because a lot of the joy I get out of this hobby is actually building and painting the miniatures, so I like to do my own. If you're into gaming or just want some really awesome miniatures, then I get it. There's quite a lot of knights here, though, isn't there? I mean, that is a lot. I don't know how much they are allowed to buy separately. I'm not even going to bother trying to work it out, but imagine it's not as much as 9,000. Beautiful Eldar army here. Really nice. Look at these. I mean, this is a huge army. Den of Imagination as well. So, you know it's going to be good. Beautifully painted. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, maybe worth $12,000 because they are just so lovely. Bases are really cool. Paint jobs just so good. Yeah, really nice. Good quality photos as well, and a lot of photos. A lot of jet bikes. Tanks as well. I love this effect. If you click on it, yeah, I love the effect there. That's really cool. Something like the Eldar tanks, they just look so dated. They look so dated now. I don't know. That's all really nice though. Cool. We'll have a look at a couple more, and then we'll look at some what I've actually sold. There'll be significantly less, I would imagine. We've got some artwork and stuff. Siege of Terror signed books there. We'll look at one more army. We'll look at the Ogres. So 8,000 or best offer. A lot of stuff there. There's a lot of giants at the back. And loads of ogres. One army that really needs a big refresh, and it looks like they will be getting it at some point in the future. It's really cool. I do have a few ogres myself. I do like them. Really nicely painted. And yeah, they've pretty much got everything in there. And goblin green base rims, so you know that's worth $1,000 in itself. Okay, let's look at, because obviously if you ever get a good idea of how much things are worth and actually how much they sell on eBay rather than how much people are trying to sell them for, is obviously a lot more accurate. And we have a metal Thunderhawk again. For something that's really rare, there seems to be a lot of them floating about. 12,000. So definitely worth 12,000. Beautiful, isn't it? I would not want to ever put it together. That must be a nightmare to put together. I can vaguely remember watching Squidmar's video, and I'm sure he had quite a fun job with it. But wow. One day we'll have a plastic one. One day. And if you're watching this in the future when it already exists, then cool. The Tau Manta dropship. I don't know how much they were originally. I don't know if they're even still available, are they? I mean, that says Mars Pattern Warlord body, which is a bit worrying. So, I don't really know what's going on there. It says Tau Manta in the thingy. Purchased directly from Warhammer World last November. 3 to 4 months after it switched to sold out. And was then delisted. Okay, so it's gone. The Manta is gone. I love the Manta. I don't know why you got Mars Pattern Warlord body box though. Obviously, they don't want to open the box. But I don't know. I think... I mean, someone's bought it, so... Yeah. What can I say? We've got Undead Army box and the Tyranid Swarm Army box. Which looks like from 2nd edition. I don't know what edition of Warhammer this is. One of the earlier ones. Maybe like 4th edition. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 3rd or 4th maybe. Yeah, it's definitely sort of like mid-90s, isn't it? They accepted an offer, so it was less than 3,000. I wish when they accept offers that actually just tell you how much they accepted it for. I don't know if you can do that. No. Don't really show you much. But what a cool army box that is. Yeah, really, really nice. We have the Tyranid Swarm Army box as well. Again, best offer accepted. This one's actually opened. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realise they just put the boxes within the box. So all the boxes and blisters are in there. Rather than just what they do now when they just chuck in all the sprues and stuff. That's quite cool. Probably not as overwhelming when you open it. But, oh, look at them. They're so hideous. Which is just part of their charm. I love the old Tyranid stuff. Well, maybe one day I'm going to have to get some. Oh, look at them. Look at them. They're so goofy and weird. Oh, they're beautiful, aren't they? Lovely. So cool. I'm so into my old hammer. I'm going to do an old hammer video in the future, just talking about old hammer and showing off some of my old hammer stuff and what I love about it. So yeah, look forward to that one. But might have to get some old school Tyranids. So we've got quite a few armies. That's interesting. The Mars Pattern Shadow Sword with Interior Detail Kit. We've got Horus Heresy collection. Large Space Marine Army or Maggotkin. Oh, that's Wall of Titan Body. That looks like the same guy. So maybe he just accidentally used the wrong images. Got Death Guard Army for $2,500, and that doesn't look as big as my Death Guard Army. We'll look at that in a minute. We'll have a look at a couple. There's more Nids. What we got here? There's Maggotkin. I don't want to look at 2 lots of Nurgle, do I? I'll tell you what. We'll look at that. We'll look at that, and then we'll look at the Death Guard. So again, it's best offer. So we don't know how much it went for. I'm loving the colours though. That's really beautifully painted, isn't it? So nice. Yeah, really nice. I like the sort of plants and stuff they've used. They really pop. And it's a fairly large army. I mean, it's quite a sizable army, isn't it? Very big. So I've only got maybe about 3 armies that are that big. A lot of the time I'll have smaller armies, maybe a couple of 1,000 points, or maybe even less than that. I recently just sold some Custodes, which obviously is quite a small army in terms of figures, and I got about 280 for it, and I thought that's good. And then there's people selling armies for thousands. Is that all? Like, I know, obviously they are painted really well. I mean, it's stunning. Absolutely stunning. But honestly, I think I could easily sit down, put my best work into that many Tyranids for maybe about a month. And if I could sell them for even half that, I'd be very happy. Really nice. Yeah, they're gorgeous, aren't they? Look at the black. Really nice. Nice flat, solid black. Really good. Base is really cool as well. Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful army, but it's not huge, is it? For that amount of money. I'd like to know how much they accepted for it. Let's go with Death Guard, because we do know how much this went for. And my Death Guard army is roughly the same size, maybe bigger. They seem to have a lot of Poxwalkers. I've probably got a bit more Marines. I've also got Materian, but I wouldn't sell him. I mean, they're really nice. Yeah, paint job's stunning. Well, the paint job on mine are not quite as good. The army's slightly bigger. I wouldn't put up for sale, but if I could get $2,500 for it, I would just bite someone's arm off for it. Yeah, so if any of you got $2,500 and you want to buy my Death Guard, feel free. I'll do a video on them in the future. But yeah, I mean, honestly, before I'd done this video, I had no idea that armies would sell so much. I know they're expensive to buy and that, but That's nuts. I mean, they are painted so well. That is obviously a big factor. Beautiful army, and whoever's oh, now you've got a stunning army, but love for rhino. I've got a couple of rhinos. Oh no, I sold them. I think I sold my rhinos. I just couldn't be bothered to repaint them. Yeah, I think in terms of my Death Guard army, it's just done. I don't really want to add anything more to it. I love this old Demon Prince. I have one in my army as well. I sort of converted a jump pack onto mine. Again, I'll do a video on them in the future. Really nice. What else we got here? So that's Shadow Sword, interior detail again. Got Drukhari army. Mars pattern Warlord body again. Alright, just go to Warhammer World and just buy a lot of stuff. An award-winning custom word bearers army. We'll have a look at that. I wonder if some of these commission ones, they stick them on eBay and then it's just the person they're commissioning will just buy through eBay. Got all Horus Heresy black books. Now I actually had most of these and I did sell a lot of them. I mean, I sold all of them actually eventually. I didn't get two grand for them, but I did get well over 1,000. They're lovely books. They're nice to have, but they just sit on the shelf. I've been selling quite a lot of stuff lately because a lot of it just sits on shelves or it's in the loft. And I'm just getting to a point in my life now where I just don't want crap everywhere. I get a lot of joy, as I said earlier, in the building and painting, but because I don't game, once sort of armies are done and that, they're just sitting there collecting dust. So I'm selling off a lot of armies, just so someone can get use out of them. And we've got a Forge World Thunderhawk. It's significantly cheaper than the metal one, but still quite a good value there. Some more nids. Again, like, obviously, people are doing these privately. Limited edition Horus Heresy books. Yeah, loads of armies actually. I've got another Death Guard collection there. It'd be interesting to maybe try and find like what's the most expensive single bit. That might be quite hard to find. Maybe I'll have a look off camera and then I'll come back to you guys. We'll do that in a minute. We'll just quickly look at the Drukhari army and the award-winning word bearers. I love the green on these. So I want to do Drukhari, but I'm going to wait till they get a range refresh in the next edition. I am tempted to do this sort of similar scheme. I have been doing like a 3rd edition Dark Eldar army as well. But I would like to do some update stuff. Got Raiders. Ravagers actually, aren't they? These ones are for turrets. So yeah, quite a lot. That's a big old army. That's a big old army. A lot there. Really nice. And then we have the award-winning custom word bearers Horus Heresy army. Okay, so it's Horus Heresy ones as well. Ah, how cool is that? Yeah, really nice. Really nice. Loads of transfers being used on them. Oh, wish the photo was more focused, but and obviously take it on a phone, because my phone does the same thing, it'll just focus on a tiny little area. How nice is that Dreadnought though? That's stunning. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, that's some of my most expensive armies and items. I'm just gonna go offline for a bit and I'll have a look, see if I can find any sort of expensive rare bits. And yeah, I'll come back because this video's getting quite long. Okay, so yeah, I've had a little look around, trying to find individual Warhammer bits. There's obviously a lot of bits, bundles and stuff and find a few things that are quite interesting. But before we get into that, we have an update on the world's most expensive bit. I got an offer through, as people sometimes do if you watch an item, the person selling it will sometimes put offers for the potential watchers or anyone who's interested. And they sent an offer of €9,999. So maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe they genuinely think they can get a lot of money for it. They've gave it a massive a massive discount of just over €100,000. I don't know. It's all a bit weird. But yeah, let's get into this. So I've opened a few tabs with ones that I found interesting. And you can see there's some good bundles of bits, decent prices. I should probably maybe keep an eye on different bits. These are really cool. Is that the... Did I even open that one? Yeah, I really like these Harlequin things. Is that them? Yeah. These are so cool, the Harlequin jet bike upgrades. Really nice. I'm turning this into just me ogling a load of old Hammer stuff. I will, like I say, I'll do a whole video on that. What other tabs do I have open? Some Horus Heresy Vindicator tank bits, which I thought was quite interesting. £104 for some reason. There was an offer accepted on that. Don't look like it's all of them. Just a few random bits. Yeah, that was interesting. I'm not really sure what's going on there. These things, we've had loads of these, and we've really struggled to sell them. And we've put them on for sale for about £2 each. We've just given them away almost. And yet, someone's managed to get £89 for them, or $119, almost $120. So fair play. Well done. Was it 12 of them? Yeah, we'd have got 24 quid for that. So, yeah, well done. This was Space Crusade stuff. Again, looking at some old stuff, but £95 with an offer accepted on them. Just a few random guns. This is an interesting one. The Company Command Sprue. Oh, not even complete. There's a couple of bits missing. One of my all-time favourite sets. Yeah, you got the Company. Is all the Company... Oh no, it's the Company Hero stuff. Some of it's on there. But its head's missing, and its shoulder pads are missing. So, like, probably the most expensive parts that we used to sell are gone. But I used to love this set, the Company Command. Although the Company Heroes that we have now is gorgeous. So what else have we got? I mean, there's some bits from Imperial Knights, as you'd expect. And the weapons sell quite well. We don't stock them because whilst we could get a lot of money for weapons, we would really struggle to sell the rest of it. And would barely break even and have loads of Imperial Knight frames just lying around. So, yeah, that's why we don't sort of stock vehicles and stuff. I'm even get to a point now where I'm considering not even stocking cavalry because we end up with just loads of horses that no one wants. So, we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I really expected looking here. Old Hammer stuff's always going to do well. Just bundles of bits. And we sell bits bags for about 14-15 quid or something. Honestly, our bits bags are probably about half of this. And it's gone 41 quid, so yeah, we're selling them about decent price. I mean, it's all Spaceman stuff, so Spaceman's you can get a bit more on. And some Rogue Trader stuff. Again, I'm going to try not to make it all too much Old Hammer, but yeah, I remember these. I mean, I was very young when they first came out, but I remember seeing some. We used to have Warhammer Club at school, and they had like a box of these for some reason. Really nice. Although not enough bits to actually make any Marines. Just a load of arms and heads. So just looking on stuff that hasn't sold, stuff that is currently for sale. Fortress of Redemption's there. Now, I had one of these. I must have sold it. Because I definitely had one. I never built it. It was in the box. But I don't recall seeing it within the last sort of 5-10 years, so I must have sold mine. And we've got Flesh Tearers metal shoulder pads, 129 of them for $400 almost. Very cool, used to be 50p each back in the day. So, yeah, £60 worth of shoulder pads. They've certainly gone up in value. Whether anyone will pay that, I don't know. I mean, in this day and age, probably not. 3D print them really easily. Really easily. And speaking of which, we do make custom shoulder pads on our website. And for they work out about 50p a pad. So you can do any design you want within reason. Loads of sort of like just random metal stuff. Some space walls. And then some more. They're almost as organised as we are. Almost. Okay, and I think we'll just lastly just look at Blood Angel's brass etch. Now I actually have some brass etch stuff. I think I have a corn one. And I think I just have like an Aquila one. Wow, £94. Let's have a quick look. Before we end the video, let's just have a quick look at some Forge World brass etching. Yeah, obviously they're not all going to be as expensive as that, but even so, like, you're talking 40 quid for them. Maybe I should consider selling mine. It's just always worth keeping hold of this stuff, isn't it? You never know. You just never know how much they're going to go up in value. And that's if people can sell them, of course. I'm just looking at what's sold. Yeah, you know, we're getting 35, 42. These aren't even complete and they can still get some. I'm sure I had that one as well, actually. Or one similar. I'll have to have a look, see what I can find. But yeah, I'm going to leave the video there because it's sort of just petered out a little bit, hasn't it? We've looked at some really cool, expensive armies. We've looked at some ridiculously overpriced bits. And we've looked at some out-of-production stuff. Some old hammer, which is really valuable and really awesome. Big old hammer fan. And yeah, I will do a future video all about old hammer. So if you want to watch that, then make sure you are subscribed. And of course, you can click the like button if you have enjoyed this video. That's just me rambling, looking at stuff on eBay, but that's been quite fun to make, at least. Hopefully you have a little bit of enjoyment from watching it. But yeah, that's all that's left to say is thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in the next video.